Okay, so welcome all to the next session.
How do you measure your previous session success? Is to see the number of people who are being retained for the next session. Correct? So I see 90% of you are retained. So it means that the previous session is really good. Glad you are all back. The last session I spoke generally about leadership qualities, what are all the things that you need to have to be an academic leader, all those things we discussed. This session we are going to talk about a term called as transformational leadership, right? Sir, if there is something called as transformational, is there anything else also available? Yes. There are multiple leadership styles which are available, out of which one very dangerous style of leadership is going to be discussed first, and then we will go into transformational style. I'll first go to the next slide and then I'll come to this. 90% of us are this. 90%. What do you mean by that? Transactional. அப்படினா என்ன? இன்னைக்கு பொழுது நல்லபடியா முடிஞ்சு நான் நிம்மதியா வீட்டுக்கு போய் தூங்கினா போறோம். That's all. That is called transactional. அன்னைக்கு பொழுத முடிச்சுட்டு அண்ணாச்சி கடையில போற மாதிரி போக கூடாது. We are not running a shop where we are closing things on a transaction basis. We have got 1000 rupees invested today. 1400 rupees is the profit. I am closing the deal and the day is done. It is called transaction. We cannot do that. In particularly in academia, if you see very closely, the transactional leaders would be like this. They focus on goals. Sir, tappilla, but the vision may not be matched. Annaniki goal, short-lived goals. I want this today, I'll do this and I'll happily go. I have told you one name in the previous session, Dr.S.Suganthi, right? He used to have a diary. He brings the diary every day. I am inspired by him. I have one too. Morning when he wakes up, right, the first thing he writes is what he has to do for the day. But in parallel, he would have already got something written for the day 1 month before. That 1 month before is called vision. Whatever he writes for that day is called a transaction. He will tick everything at the end of the day to see if he has completed it. If he has not completed it, he won't sleep. This habit I have learned from him. Personally, I was so very encouraged to see a man who is at that level. He was a former CTO of a superb company in US. He is a golfer. He has got multi-million-dollar properties in US itself. That man is following this habit, which means that it is a good habit. Simple. So, transactional leaders will focus on one-day target. In the page mattum. Transformational leaders will have one full page for the year, for the years to come. So, that's very important point. Second, use rewards and punishments for motivation. Transformational leaders are slightly different from the transactional leaders in terms of approaches. நீங்க நல்லா பண்ணீங்கன்னா நான் உடனே அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணிடுவேன். அன்னைக்கு பொழுது வேலை முடிஞ்சுதா அதோட மறந்துடுவேன். But what happens further, the transactional leaders do not think about what next with them. Transformational leaders use them as an energy source for others to be energized. Sometime back I told you, right, the 3 persons who went to US became the charisma, became the face of the department, and they became face of the university. So I used them to motivate the rest of the people, and eventually we got good results. Appreciate பண்றது நல்லது, awards கொடுக்கிறது ரொம்ப நல்லது, but you stopping it there is not good. You should use them for further accomplishments. That's transformational. And most importantly, punishments. The one who is punished with a hard word or harsh word or with some letter or memo or something, even the transformational leaders pull them and they transform their career as well. I punished you today, there it not ends. I need to pull you back to normalcy. So I will ensure that you are given the right training. So I will focus more on motivation, enthusiasm and charisma. Instead of I being targeting the one day itself. That one day is not sufficient for me. I need to focus more. And the last point is so very important. Transactional leaders, they will be very reactive. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? ரொம்ப simple. My boss tells me something. He gives me a task. I'll immediately react. My intention will be to complete it. That's all. It is like I get a task, I should react to finish it. But what is the nature of transformational? They are proactive. They will even proactively think what next based on this task, and they will be mentally prepared for that too. While this is good, this is the best. So which one do you want to be? The best. But can I become a transformational leader so easily, sir? It's not so easily a task that you can become a transformational leader, because from childhood we are motivated to be transactional. அன்னைக்கு ஹோம்ஒர்க் அன்னைக்கே முடி, பேக் பண்ணி வை, நாளைக்கு இன்னைக்கு பேக் பண்ணி வச்சிரு, ட்ரெஸ் எடுத்து வச்சிரு, ஷூ பாலிஷ் பண்ணி. we are transactional. நம்ம அப்படிதான் வாழ்ந்துட்டு இருக்கிறோம். So to become a transformational leader, it is not easy. So what are the things that you need to do to become a transformational leader? This is a transformational leadership circle that is very famously discussed in many forums. If you see that very closely, we'll have a purpose, we'll have a vision, we'll have a commitment. இந்த மூணும் தான் சேர்ந்து டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷனல் பண்ணும். Vision, purpose and commitment very clearly. Now if you see very closer, I will go ahead first by modeling the way I want to grow further. I need to grow further. I will model what I want to be tomorrow. Then I will encourage the heart, means I am not going to just finish the task and leave. Instead, I am going to be connected to it very tightly so that I won't leave it just like that. Book writing habit which I have, I see myself as a transformational person in terms of I writing books. Way back in 2009, I was with VIT Vellore. I was a professor there. How many of you know Dr. D.P. Kothari? Yeah, Dr. D.P. Kothari was Vice Chancellor there by then. So he is paralyzed one side. I don't know how many of you know that too. One full side of his body is paralyzed. He cannot use it. So by evening, every day evening, I was a bachelor then, I was just 27, 28. I had a lot of hair by then. That's a major difference. We used to play cricket. This man used to come to physiotherapy center for getting physiotherapy treatment. One side of the body doesn't work right, so he used to take some therapy. One fine day he fell down when he was walking. He used to wear a shorts and he'll come just like that, very subtle fellow. I was the one who went and picked him and I dropped him back at his home safely. He offered me a tea and he asked me, what do you do? I said, I'm working in EC department. What do you do? He said. Sir, I said, I'm working in EC department. No. Other than working, what do you do? I said, I play cricket. Every day evening. That was a fun game that I can immediately tell him. What is your salary here? He asked me. I said, I was earning around 39 or 40K, something like that by then. Then he asked me, what was your salary earlier? He didn't know me where I worked and all. I told him I worked in Wipro. They gave me 40 plus, so I'm here because I'm having a peaceful life. He asked me, why the hell do you want a peaceful life by the age of 29, 28? First question. Second question, what do you do after going back from playing shuttle or cricket? I said, I'll eat well, I'll go for a walk, I will then again come and watch a movie, I'll sleep. Instead you can die is the statement he made. He told me straight, instead you can die. What is this kind of lifestyle that you are following? You're just 28, 29 and you have a lot of time with you. Why are you wasting time? Every day you watch a movie, 365 movies a year you watch, and what's the use that you are gaining? He made it very harsh. And next day morning he asked me to come to his Vice Chancellor chamber. I don't know how many of you get privileged to go to Vice Chancellor chamber being a very young employee. I got it. I went it by 6:30 in the next evening and he made me sit in his room for about 2 hours and he gave me complete picture of how do you write a book. I do not know how he found that I can write book. That's the leadership quality. He found that I can write book from the conversation or the skills I possess or something I do not know. I always ask him, sir, how do you do that? He then told me, you are masters in embedded systems. I did not have a PhD then. Why cannot you write a book on embedded systems? Because there are no books available in the market for embedded systems. I said, sir, who will give me contract? I have read your books, but I do not know that I can write one. Immediately he made a call to New Age Publishing Group, which is an international publishing group, and he got a contract in 3 weeks. We wrote the book. Every evening he made me sit and he transformed me. I was wasting time. He transformed me to something very useful where I started writing books. As long as I was there, we have written 11 books together. Every day evening, he is my guru. I'm very proud in saying that he is the one who mentored me, who handled me. அவ்வளோ அழகா திருத்துவார் chapter. Red ink வச்சுக்க மாட்டார். Red ink வச்சா he says that you get offended. He uses pencil. See the way people think. Red ink or green ink வச்சு, he is a vice chancellor, he can use green ink. But our pencil வச்சுட்டு அடிக்க மாட்டாரு, underline பண்ணுவாரு. அடிச்சா we get offended, he says. You may feel odd about it, so don't do that. 11 books we completed. Today, because of the transformational effort he has taken, I have written 47 books. All because of him. Complete credit is to be thrown at his feet. And I have written books now with Wiley, Taylor & Francis, Oxford University Press. You name a press, I have a book there. That's all the credit that he has given me. So what is transformation here? the vision that you see for yourself. He was there as co-author. That's his connect. At the same time, the vision he had for me as an employee. And he did not give this opportunity to everybody. There are 10 other young faculty members who are playing. Identification of the right person to do that. That's called transformational. You now understand the difference, right? Everybody is transactional, while this man is transformational. That's why he has got 80 books written and still he is writing. I'll tell you something very interesting. I don't know how many of you salaries here would be crossing 15 lakhs per annum. His royalty is 15 lakhs per annum nowadays. So what is it because of? It is because of his transformational ability. One side paralyzed, totally. He cannot walk without a help of a stick or some persons. He cannot walk. At the age of 75, he is still very active writing books. 680 papers corpus la irukku. IEEE transactionally 25 paper vechirukkaru. 64 PhD scholar mudichirukkaru. So are we something big? That is the transformational character, right? Even if I become 60, even if I become 100, I'll quote his name because he's the one who transformed me. That's how transformational leadership should work. Understand? Now, shared vision is discussed. Enabling others to act. This is what I was about to convey you. He encouraged me. He shared a vision by inspiring. அவரே எழுதலனா நான் அவர் பேச்சு கேட்டிருக்க மாட்டேன். நான் இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்டேஷன் படிச்சது பூரா அவரோட புக். டிபி கொத்தாரி நாகரத்தன் கோபால் கொத்தாரி அந்த புக் தான் படிச்சிருக்கேன் நான். எனக்கு தெரியும் அவர் புக்கை தான் படிச்சு நம்ம பாஸ் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னு. So he has already inspired me by sharing a vision where he is already qualified to do that. And most importantly, enabling others to act. And he challenged me. நீ இப்ப பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கலாம் வெட்டி யூ கேன் டைனர் அந்த வார்த்தை வந்து இட்ஸ் வெரி ஸ்ட்ராங் வேர்ட் ஃப்ரம் அ விசி இஃப் யூ ஆர் ஹியரிங் இட் யூ சேயிங் தட் இன்ஸ்டெட் யூ கேன் டை. அது விளையாட்டா சொல்லிட்டாரு. அப்படியே ஒரு 2 நிமிஷம் பார்த்துட்டே இருந்தேன். கிட்டத்தட்ட அப்படிதான் இருந்தது. யோ நீ குழந்தே இருக்கலாம் பேசாம அப்படின்னு தான் இருந்தது எனக்கு. ஸோ த பாயிண்ட் இஸ் வெரி சிம்பிள். The circle is very emotionally connected to you as well as to the people whom you are working with. The emotional intelligence plus the vision plus the act you are making intelligently to challenge yourself and also to challenge others is called transformational. புரிஞ்சுதா? நான் இப்ப பண்றேன், இப்ப பண்றதையே டெய்லி பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன்னா I will vanish. இப்ப பண்றதை விட நல்லா பண்ண முடியும்னு எனக்கு தெரியும். So I will challenge myself. Not only growing with my self vision, I will also pull others to come with me. I will grow, I will parallelly make them grow, I will transform the team. This is how the transformational leadership works. Now if you see this slide, you will understand the example. He was having a vision. Dr. Kothari had a clear vision. He knows that I can do something. Somehow he found it out. Second, charisma and enthusiasm for motivation. அந்த ஒத்த காலை வச்சுட்டு ஒத்த கையை வச்சுட்டு அவர் பண்றாருங்கிறது எனக்கு பயங்கரமான மோட்டிவேஷன். உனக்கு எல்லாம் நல்லா தானே இருக்குன்னு கேட்டாரு அவரு. உடம்புல எல்லாமே நல்லா தானே இருக்கு, என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிற நீ? So that question was a very hurting question, by the way, but he motivated me with that question. And finally, proactive nature. நான் 6:30 போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி மனுஷன் 6:25 டேபிள் உட்காந்துருப்பாரு with a tea for me. The vice chancellor need not offer me a tea. டேபிள்ல ஒரு ஈக்குவலா உட்காந்து வச்சு he will offer me a tea. எத்தனையோ நாள் அவர் கூட நான் டின்னர் போயிருக்கேன். So the amount of proactiveness he brings into you is called transformational. இது எல்லாருக்கும் கொடுத்த transformational கிடையாது. So there is where a leader should be very very specific. Whom to give the privilege, whom to be identified. Sir, அப்ப இது வந்து biased இல்லையா சார்? இல்ல, this is to identify right skills. ஒரு டீம்ல டாப் 4 டாப் 5 இருக்குன்னா ஸ்கில் வேணும். எல்லாரையும் கொண்டு வந்து இடத்துல வைக்க முடியாது. But rest of them are definitely part of the team. So you need to understand the difference. You are not biased here. Instead, you are talented to identify who is going to be part of your pillar team. First one, vision, I told you what it is. These are all the characteristics for transformational leader. I'll give you the slides also, okay? Just go through it whenever you are free. I made it putting a lot of effort. Inspiration. ஒரு லீடர் இன்ஸ்பயர் பண்ணலன்னா அந்த டீம் உருப்படவே உருப்படாது. You can even connect it with your own experiences. If you're head of the department or if your leader or your boss is a daddi, the team is a daddi for sure. ஒண்ணுமே பண்ண முடியாது. லீடர் டல்லா இருந்தா அந்த டீமே டல்லா தான் இருக்கும். If the leader is energetic, the team will be super energetic. Right? That's how the ஒரு வீட்டுல அம்மா டல்லா இருந்தா என்ன ஆகும்? முடிஞ்சது. எங்க அம்மா டல்லா இருந்தாங்க, நீ வீடே டல்லா தான் இருக்கும். But if she is very active, very energetic, அந்த மூஞ்சிலே தெரியும் எனக்கு டிஃபரன்ஸ். So that's exactly what we need. And next, intellectual simulation. This is what Dr. Kothari exhibited. He intellectually simulated that, okay, this guy will be capable of doing this particular task. சரி, இது ஃபெயிலியர் ஆனா என்ன ஆகுது? He was ready to take up that risk. I could have been a failure. I could not have turned up for 10 days or 20 days, or I could have stopped writing. அவர் எடுத்ததுக்கு பேர் என்ன? Intelligent risk. He knew that this guy can do, but there is a chance that he can also fail. If he fails, that's okay. I will identify the next person. What do I invest? I invest time. அவ்வளவுதான். Next, individual consideration. I was writing book like a lecture notes content because I'm very jovial in talking. I teach like this, and this is how I teach in the class also. So my writing was almost like that. He tuned it page by page for me, sitting next to me, coaching me. The word coaching is very important. Your boss, leader, if he wants to be transformational, he should mentor you. He should coach you. சும்மா உட்கார்ந்து ரிவ்யூ பண்ணி கொடுத்துட்டு போறது is not leadership. You need to mentor and coach. That's the next point. Charisma, it's a very important word. Teachers should be bright. Teachers should be fresh. நமக்கு 1000 பிரச்சனை இருக்கலாம். We all have problems. I do agree to it. வீட்டில் ஒரு 1000, காலேஜில் ஒரு 1000, வெளில போனா ஒரு 1000. We got so many problems that are surrounding us. But when you get into the class, I think that you should wear a hat of teacher and be damn fresh. If you are not fresh, students know that you are coming here without a purpose. Purposeless teaching is useless. So don't do that. And finally, emotional intelligence, I spoke about it more. So these 4 are very important eyes for, I cannot zoom it, very important eyes for transformational leadership. The first eye is intellectual simulation. They have super creativity. They have simple super creativity. They know what to do. They know how to project. Only a simple PPT கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா normal leader transformational leader difference தெரியும். Simple PPT. They will make the stuff different. And second, individualized consideration. I have 5 people in my team. All the 5 people will not have the same approach that I give. It will be different. If I give the same approach, what I am? Transactional leader. எனக்கு அன்னைக்கு எவ்வளவு முடிஞ்சணும், டிரான்சாக்ஷன் முடிஞ்சு நான் வீட்டுக்கு போயிடுவேன். சிம்பிள். But transformational leader will give individual focus and attention. That's very important. Idealized influence. And the one who is being mentored under you, as you being a transformational leader, will be able to see you as a role model. நான் என்ன சொன்ன கொஞ்ச நேரம் முன்னாடி, டிபி கோத்தாரி இஸ் மை ரோல் மாடல். He kept me moving and he is my role model. இன்னும் 50 வருஷம் ஆகும் அவர்தான் ரோல் மாடல். If I stay very close to his records, that is great for me. அவர் 2 புக் எழுதிவாரா, நான் 50 புக் 60 புக்ல நின்னா கூட நான் ரிட்டையர் ஆகும்போது that's the biggest thing that I have achieved. So that's how the role models move. And inspirational motivation. They are simple people. They are easy to approach. They motivate you. And most important point, I don't know how many of you again agree to this. A leader should be accessible. I had a policy when I was a principal in engineering college that I told you sometime back, called as open door policy. I close my door from 10 to 11 in the morning because I do all my important works there. I allow nobody to disturb me. 10 to 11, very important works, nobody can knock my door. 11 to 4, it will be open door principle. Anybody can walk into my room and they will be able to meet me. 90% of the HODs, 95% of the Ds, 100% of the principals always lock their door. I do not know why this happens. If the door is open, the PA who is sitting will be the authority to decide if somebody has to be sent or not. And 99% of the time, he doesn't have the intellectual ability to understand why I am coming. So please do not have the policy of closing the door and locking it. AC kahanna, that's a wrong idea again. Don't do that. Please keep the door open. Only then people will come in. And do not have the authority given to your PA, if you have one, to block people who are entering. 90% of the time, if you address the questions in the right time, that will be sorted out. அதை நம்ம டெவலப் பண்ணி அது பிரச்சனை ஆகிடுறோம், which should not be done. So these 4 I's are very, very important for a transformational leader. Can you identify? Nelson Mandela, is he transformational? Absolutely. See the ways he has vision and inspiration. 27 years in prison. What was his vision? To get a free South Africa where blacks and anybody else can also easily survive. What was his vision? To be a leader, to ensure it happens. 27 years in jail. What is it called as? It is called as transformational vision. Bayangaramana quality. That's why he was the vice president of South Africa. And next, charisma and emotional intelligence. He had forgiveness. Super forgiveness. No cases against them. Racial abuse, யாரெல்லாம் என்ன பண்ணானோ அதெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லை, விட்டுறலாம். So that added quality to him
to be accepted not only as the president for blacks but also for whites. So that's called emotional intelligence. It's very smart. He's bringing both into the picture. And collaboration and unity. நீ என்ன வேணா சண்டை போடு, end of the day you are my countryman. That's his view. நீ என்ன வேணா திட்டு என்ன, பிரச்சனையே இல்லை. I will see you as my countryman. I will see you as my co-living person in the country. That is what he has embedded very strongly, and that's called the feeling of collaboration and unity that the transformational leader brings. Example, transformation through example. ஜெயில இருந்தாரு, ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியே கிடையாது, ஒரு ஊழல் கிடையாது அவர் மேல. ஜெயில இருந்தா என்ன ஊழல் பண்ண முடியும், ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது. And most importantly, integrity. வெளில வந்த அப்புறம் he lived in a very simple way till his death. So he has shown path to the people to be very simple, very normal, humble, and he was an example leader. South Africa into a democratic nation was his vision. Earlier it was so? No. South Africa was banned from cricket for 20 plus years, banned from other sports for so many long years. They were seen as a very critical nation where racism was on the top. If everybody in South Africa, it has become a tourist nation. People are going there. South Africa is seen as friend for many countries. So whose vision it is? Mandela. He is the one who created it. நம்ம ஊருக்கு யாரு இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணா? காமராஜர். The vision that Kamaraj had, nobody else had in Tamil Nadu. Nobody else. I'll talk about it also. And on the other side, he has got superb ability to communicate to people. Mandela is a very good communicator. He communicates very nicely. And most important point, see here, he stressed about equality. எல்லாருக்கும் equality முடிஞ்சது. And he was ready to forgive. ஏன் forgive பண்ணாரு? If he had taken that vengeance in his mind when he became a president, he could have become a normal person. Now we are discussing him as a transformational leader, transactional leader. அதான் தாண்டி பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம். So this is what made him as a superb leader over and above anybody. He is like Mahatma Gandhi for us. I have taken Mahatma Gandhi as an example also, but I would like to move to Kamaraj first because I have very limited time left with me now. I think 11 o'clock I should complete it, so let me quickly walk through. What are the visionary things that he has done? People from Tamil Nadu at least must know. Very important point. First point is foremost. I'll talk about that. When he went for a campaign, he was working for a campaign or some event. Children were sitting and they did not have a chance to go to school. And he enquired them what will make them come to school. சாப்பாடு போட்டா போவான்னு ஏதோ ஒரு குழந்தை சொன்னது. எனக்கு சாப்பாடு கிடைக்குமா ஸ்கூலுக்கு போனாங்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு குழந்தை சொன்னது. He has taken it as a point and he has implemented. இன்னைக்கு எல்லாரும் சொல்றோம்ல, மார்னிங் சாப்பாடு போடுறாங்க, மத்தியானம் சாப்பாடு, அதெல்லாம் இவர் ஆரம்பிச்சது. He is the one who created it. And second point, free education. சாப்பாடை காட்டி படிக்க வர வச்ச ஒரே ஆள் இவர் தான். நீ சாப்பாடுக்கு தானே கஷ்டப்படுற, வா சாப்பிடு படி. அடுத்தது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம், டேம்ஸ். இன்னைக்கு தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்கிற 100% டேம் இந்த மனுஷன் கட்டினது. ஒரு மழைக்கு தாங்குவாங்க. சோழையார், வாழையார் டேம், இந்த பக்கம் சத்தியமங்கலம், எத்தனை டேம் பாருங்க. எல்லாமே அவரோட விஷன். இஸ் இட் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷனல்? அதுதான் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷனல். ஈவினிங் காலேஜஸ் மோஸ்ட் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்லி எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேல செத்து போகும்போது பையில எவ்வளவு ரூபாய் இருந்தது? 120 ரூபாய் வீட்டுல. அண்ட் ஹியர் அ டப்பா வேர் ஹி கலெக்ட்ஸ் மணி. யார் வேணா போய் டொனேட் பண்ணலாம் அந்த டப்பால. அந்த டப்பால ஏதோ 100 சம்திங் இருந்தது. ட்ரஸ்ட் மீ, he did not have a bank account. நம்ம ஆளுங்க பேங்கே வச்சிருக்காங்க. Serious. He did not have a bank account. And his mother was never allowed to travel in the government car. She was never allowed. And her mother still did the daily waging work until she passed away. இப்ப யாராவது காட்ட முடியுமா? எங்கேயாவது இந்தியாவோட எந்த கார்னர்லயாவது காட்ட முடியுமா? முடியாது. He cannot do. And end of the day, this guy also said very clearly that I cannot utilize anything from government for my family or myself unnecessarily other than my government related works that I do. Clean எல்லா இடத்துலயும். And I have seen his movie. Please watch his movie. காமராஜன் ஒரு மூவி வந்தது. If you have real good time to watch it, please watch it. Spend 2-3 hours time. முக்கியமா உங்க பசங்களுக்கு காட்டுங்க. If you have children, they must know about him. He always says that very clearly. Non-vegetarian வீட்டுக்கு வந்தவருக்கு non-vegetarian சாப்பாடு போடலாமான்னு கேட்பாரு அந்த சீன். Yeah. I was taken aback on seeing that. That has all happened. He will offer non-vegetarian food to the one who has come to his home. And this guy will be thinking it will be chicken or mutton or something. He will offer only egg. Egg is treated as non-vegetarian because rest of things are expensive. He did not have the ability to buy that. He is saying that nama budget is avladhan kattom. This was the statement that he made in the movie also. So those kind of leaders are called the transformational leaders. They really went into the reforms, educational reforms, buying reforms. Nobody can ever get into it. And the political empowerment. He empowered everybody. He empowered everybody. If there is somebody who is talking against things which are going against the government, he will not go and offend them. Instead, he will encourage them. There was a collector who said that no, I cannot work something like this which is against the government's agenda. He went and appreciated. He will not ever want anybody to go out of the box. And welfare schemes, superb schemes, we all are living because of comrades, the water. And most importantly, integrity and simplicity. Then the satire and the pant and the waste simplicity. And the empowering youth and political leadership. This is where somewhere he slipped, I strongly feel, but still. He is the one who created many leaders, including the Prime Minister of India. If he wants, he can bring anybody to that level is what the capacity he had, kingmaker. And Indira Gandhi became Prime Minister because of comrades' finger pointing her. And he can control anybody so easily. I'll tell you an instance with which I'll close the session. Way back in during his period of chief ministership, India-China war was at the peak. India wanted to buy some weapons from US. And for that weapons to be purchased here, we have to get guarantor from an US company which is in India. They should give guarantee. We paid the money, but they should give guarantee for importing it. No company was ready to give. Nehruji was totally affected because without the weapons we cannot move further. Kamraj was called. Kamraj is uneducated, by the way. Kamraj asked what are the companies that work in India from US. Bank of America. Few other banks he listed. Take the topmost bank, tell them to vacate India. If they are not giving the guarantorship today, they should vacate India tomorrow. They gave the guarantorship. Next few days we got the weapons and the war was happening. This is the kind of emotional intelligence he has got. He knew that they are here, they are living with our funding, they are living with our place, they are living with our support. Why cannot they give? If they are not supporting, I will knock them off. This is the leadership quality. So this is the charisma that he brought on table. So with all these qualities, we can understand that it is not easy to become a leader of that caliber. But we can try to adapt even one or two of these principles, which can help us become better. Right? Last topic. So I request your energetic support. Kapil Dev is seen as the most energetic and most transformational sports person ever. Dhoni is, but still, Kapil was the one who inculcated the feeling that we can do it at the highest level. And Kapil, when he was asked that was he happy with 2 or 3 wins during 1983, he said that no, I want the cup. Srikanth used to quote this everywhere. Krishnamacharya Srikanth. This is a mad guy who kept on telling that they will beat West Indies, and they really took them to the bottom line. And beating West Indies twice is not a joke by then. West Indies and Daddi. So by then it was very difficult, but this guy did it. 83 victory. That's the biggest of transformation in the Indian sports history. Forget about cricket. Leading the example, 175 runs, how many of you have seen that match? I do not know. We do not have a recording available. But at least in the movie 83, they reproduced it in a very nice way. There are clippings available, footage is available, photographs available. BBC went on a strike that day, I believe. Correct? Yeah. So, that's a transformation. He took it on himself. 175 is not at all easy. By then, Zimbabwe is a better team than India. And coming to resilience and determination, he was the only person in the entire team who believed that India will win. The rest all booked tickets for America and they wanted to go on a tour. They were all duly married. They wanted to go on a honeymoon trip to Excelsior, which is from England, and influence on future generation. You could have seen the movie 1983 movie. In the last scene, they will show somebody who is similar to Sachin. After India winning the World Cup, Sachin Tendulkar was inspired by Kapil Dev's win. If not, they might not have gotten Sachin. And finally, contribution to the Indian cricket. Beyond everything what he has done, he has contributed by showing people that you have to be honest, you have to work hard, you have to keep trying, and even after victory, you should stay humble. This guy is a very humble guy. You can have met him in person. He will talk to you very, very nice. He will talk to you like a next door person. So very humble, so very nice. He will not wear the blazer kind of stuff all the time. He will be a very humble guy. So he is very humble, so very easy to access person. So all these are the qualities that this guy has possessed, and we can take him as an example. Overall, I will share this slide with you. Please go through it. Overall, you need to have expertise, without which none of them would have become transformational. Kamaraj had the expertise by birth, gifted person. He knew what is what. He can understand from people. Kapil Dev had the expertise by playing the game and understanding it. Nelson Mandela, 27 years in jail, made him an expert to understand people. All these expertise are very important for you. If you have to be a transformational leader in academia, you have to have the expertise. In your field, if you are not having expertise, you cannot be transformational. Vision, I spoke about it enough. You need to inspire others. If you are the principal or the head of the department, you should be the first inspiration for your department faculty. HOD, master. That's how they should think. And then they should go for other people. And empowerment and mentorship, I spoke, advocate to change. I'll finish up with one statement. Somebody has told us during the break as well. We are wishing a lot of things to change. Unless you are the change, unless you bring the change will not happen. So, with this point, I would like to thank once again ma'am for her all arrangements, and I would like to thank all the audience over here who have been excellent. And if you have any questions, you can ask me now with respect to this session, but otherwise I am done with that. I will give you my contact details. Any questions? I have few more contents here which I will share with you. I have already shared with ma'am. So take it up and should be nice. I had some cartoons because for want of time I'm going back.
So your point on developing, there is a way that faculty, they do only their academic work, they don't use general knowledge, building up, or any good things, they don't upgrade their development. So what is your advice and how
it's not an advice, it's a request. Unless Smart India Hackathon announcement comes, we never care about other hackathons. Right? How many of you have worked on multiple other hackathons which are hosted by companies? Maybe 1%. Change that. There are multiple websites which are available which are showing you information about hackathons which are conducted by every top company including Intel. I am hosting myself a lot of hackathons for Intel. So when you come out for those hackathons, you will not only talk to people who are like you, but also you will see youngsters working much faster and you can learn from them. So first thing. Second thing, we are all paper tigers. I'm sorry, I used a very strong word again. We are all paper tigers. We write a lot of things, we record a lot of things, we create a lot of records, but that's what not is needed. We should create a vision for ourselves first. Somebody asked me, I think, sir, our vision should be aligned with the vision of the place that you are working. Otherwise, you are not working in the right place. You will have to think about it seriously. So your vision should not only improve yourself, end of the day, it should also improve your university. So think about it and keep vision for you for a long run. In the semester, one paper is not the target. You should have something else. How many of you are thinking about patenting? I do not know. Nowadays, I see a lot of messages coming in LinkedIn. Forgive me if I am wrong. First author position, patent, 10,000 rupees. Second author position, 8,000 rupees. I was so angry on seeing it. ஒரு patent வாங்குறதுங்கிறது அவ்வளோ கஷ்டம். You must really put your blood, soul, heart, liver, lungs எல்லாத்தையும் உள்ள போடணும் அதுக்கு. So serious, it's 7.5 years, 8 years of hard work that you need to put in to get it done. These idiots are selling it and our people are falling as prey, and 99% of the people who fall as prey is academicians. Patent publication போட்டு அட்வர்டைஸ் பண்றோம். பப்ளிஷ் பண்ண பேட்டன்டால என்ன யூஸ் எனக்கு தெரியல. பைசா பிரயோஜனம் கிடையாது. You can write any crap and you can publish it as a patent. So it's our thought process. We need to change our thought process from buying things to creating things. ஒரு நாள்ல நடக்காது. You need time. Identifying right students, build a right team. First yearல இருந்து ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி மென்டர் பண்ணாதான் ஜெயிக்க முடியும். நான் அதான் பண்ணேன். இதெல்லாம் கதையெல்லாம் இல்ல. செகண்ட் இயர்ல தேர்ட் இயர்ல பிடிச்ச ஃபைனல் இயர் ஜெயிக்கலாம் முடியாது. You need to have a team coming with you for 4 years, and that team will come with you till you leave. That's how you need to build your strategy. And finally, passion. If you do not have passion, nothing will work. I hope I answered your question. Any other questions? Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shriram. It was, we thought both the sessions
carry different information. Though it was presented by same person, we got to know about different perspectives about the decision making as well as the transformational leadership. Thank you so much. All the audience would have been motivated by your inspirational speech. Thank you so much. Yeah, can give a big clap to sir once again. Thank you, sir. I now invite Mugundan sir and Vijay Raghavan sir to join us for presenting the memento to our guest.
Very good, kudos to all the participants. So you have been a very good audience, and every audience is a leader or is an expert by himself or herself. So we are very proud to have you as audience. Thank you.